Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, Donny Gilson here, 8:36 in the AM, 7/31/2012. It's been a long time since I made a video, so I thought I'd play last night's recording of my broadcast on the air. As you know, I'm not doing a lot of videos as of late, although this is a brand new picture of the system that I found. And it was found during a period of time when Saturn was actually having one of the largest storms ever recorded. You can do a little research on that as well. It was found on that date, so if you go to the Deccan Rob there, you will come to this picture. But you guys can do your own research on how I got to that. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, it looks like it's got a system of some sort. It's got the zigzag right here. This weird overlay as well. Looks like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. See this right here? This is probably one of the most incredible shots I've seen of it. Absolutely phenomenal. Not Jupiter. No. So, is what John Moore, TOLEC, all of these people, Captain Bill, do they have everything correct? In my show last night, I argued that point extensively. Because the one thing that they're not including is a 5-letter word, and that's Jesus Christ. That's actually more than 5 letters, but you know what I mean. So this show tonight is dedicated to the Lord Jesus Christ. Also, Toto is back, guys. He's finally back. I don't know if people have been following us on Facebook on the whole Toto situation, but Toto is back, and he is safe, and he loves to say hello to everybody. Also, if you have not listened to New 32 Degrees of Insanity, 7/16/12, Military Preps for Nibiru by Alerting Coastal Families to Bug Out. This is where I talk about the John Moore thing. Seems like that has increased even more since we last recorded. So I'll cover a lot of that as well in the broadcast. Also, if you haven't been over to the Facebook page, the best way to keep up with us when we are off the air and off of YouTube, you can catch up with a lot of great things. A lot of great people are posting things on here. You can subscribe when I find pertinent information, such as, I know you can actually find this at www.facebook.com/Ursu Adams. We have too many friends, but you can subscribe to us right here. Like this particular one that I am listening to right now, Planet X News for Sunday, July 29th, 2012, Obama close to announcing extinction level event. Now, I haven't listened to this completely, but I will talk about this on my coming in my coming radio show on Wednesday, which I'll have Alfred Weber on as well. We've been talking about James Holmes and how he doesn't look anything like his original photograph. I called that out on my Facebook right away. I mean, we've got so much going on right now. Of course, we touched upon this sick thing right here that's going on. I mean, these are demons, guys. These are demons. We have to remember that everything right now is freaking demonic. And I tell you, I hope we're on a good 2012, 2013 timeline, because we're going to explore that, because Alfred Weber is going to be on my show this coming Wednesday. So here's the show from last night. Definitely listen to it, but we're going to be talking about the brown dwarf star flyby, time travel, teleportation, life on Mars, all of it, including his exouniversity.org. And we're going to be discussing these particular articles that he's written, because what he states is that we're going to be having the flyby of the brown dwarf star sometime in June or July of 2013. Of course, Alfred Weber is the author of The Age of Cataclysm. Is the world as we know it about to end? He wrote this back in 1972. It is all about the chemtrails, brown dwarf star, Nibiru, Planet X, and depopulation. Have you noticed, guys, as of late, there has not been hardly any chemtrails out there. What is up with that? It's almost like they stopped all of a sudden. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to go straight into the new video right here. But what the heck is this? Of course, you can see it's a survey. What the survey made some very interesting geographic states. And this, like, I don't know, smoke. And remember, this is on the WISE telescope, guys. This is stuff that's too dark for even us to see. But look at what it turns out to look like. I mean, you can't get that on a telescope. You just can't. There's no possible way. This is in the WISE. This is in the infrared. This is what's hanging out there, guys. Have nothing to fear. Have nothing to fear on any of this, all right? It's all going to be an illusion. It's going to last night's show right here on www.earthsuadams.com. If you like what you hear, please send $1 or $2. I would appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. Donnie Gilson, 9:06 in the p.m., 7/30/2012. Third day of the Olympics. 32 degrees of insanity right here on freedomizerradio.com. You know, I've been contemplating on what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm not quite sure. We had a good show on Friday night. If you were able to tune in to my special edition of 32 Degrees of Insanity, I had Tina Fiota on my show, and we talked about her book, A Book of Insight, that she had channeled through a Ouija board, her and her sister. But prior to that, our good friend TOLEC was on Truth Frequency Radio. And I was informed that since I keep mentioning the word Jesus Christ, that TOLEC does not wish to talk to me. Interesting. Very interesting. There are news that's out right now saying that we're supposed to have disclosure come August 4th, which is disinformation according to TOLEC, and according to the Dramamine, what's his name, Captain Bill. Well, you know, guys, it's all a bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. So disclosure, even though there was some sort of UFO, I have to agree, during the opening ceremonies on Friday, there seemed to be a UFO. It looked like some sort of Project Blue Beam of some sort. I would fall down the area that all of this is a ploy by the elites to get us thinking that revelation is about ready to take place. I was quite concerned when I had heard that not only myself, but another lady who had challenged TOLEC in regards to it. If anybody doesn't know who TOLEC is, a lot of people thought I was TOLEC. Yeah, right. TOLEC is a guy with the Andromedan Council. He says he channels the star systems and the Andromeda Council, and a lot of people, including myself, kind of sucked into this. Well, on a previous episode of Truth Frequency Radio, about 3 or 4 months ago, I called in and I asked TOLEC a specific question. I said, TOLEC, what does Jesus Christ have to do with all of this? And he stumbled over his answer. And he says, I've never really asked the Andromeda Council about that. Oh, you mean Emmanuel? Well, I'm like, well, okay. Emmanuel then. And he's like, well, you know, he's an ascended master. He's a part of it all. But, you know, he's like, I've never really, you know, asked the Andromeda Council about it. Nor is there any information that the Andromeda Council was just released on Jesus Christ. That is why tonight on this radio station, I am boycotting anything to do with the Andromeda Council, boycotting anything to do with TOLEC, boycotting anything to do with David Wilcock, boycotting to do anything with Benjamin Fulford. It's all disinformation, and it's all a bunch of lies. Now, some people might be in shock on that. Wait a minute, Johnny, you can't do that. That's got, I mean, come on. I mean, one thing that's come true on all of this, any of it, I mean, the cabal was, this Drake guy, and David Wilcock, and, the cabal was supposed to be arrested, 72-hour green light, 72 hours, the cabal is going to be arrested. Fulford coming out with some new information today, stating that, the elites are, we're a part of a Nazi propaganda here in the United States, and we're run by Nazis. It's, and I have to admit, I fell into all this too. I did. I mean, I wanted to believe this stuff. I really did. I wanted to believe. I wanted to see a glimmer of hope. But yet today, a man sits in the Colorado court system in Aurora, Colorado, charged with 24 counts of homicide and something like 112 counts of attempted homicide. And that guy doesn't even look like the same guy that they showed us. Even a second grader could figure that one out. Oh, but the cameras were available to go in the first day. Oh, sure, we had to get a good look at them. But this time, you see the court people coming in with their Batman outfits on, their Batman t-shirts, running into the courtroom. But yet, we cannot see the figure of this man being charged. Why? Because we know it's not the same perpetrator. Tonight, if anybody would like to call in, please feel free, 347-324-3704. Again, that's 347-324-3704. I'd love to get everybody's input on all of this. I mean, we have John Moore. Here's another guy that's stating that Nibiru is supposed to be here on August 17th. And then again on October 28th. But here's a man who's a ex-military man. But you ever notice, guys, whenever somebody comes up with something, there's a confidential informant. And I've been duped into this as well. I'm tired of being duped. And I think you all are tired of being duped as well. Let's get on with it already. If Nibiru is going to come, show its face.
Glory, hallelujah.
In the highest.
Hallelujah. I've been praying. You don't know how happy I am to hear you tonight. You just don't know. Glory to the Lord. Hallelujah.
I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of Jesus Christ being put out of everything. Not mentioned, not even talked about by anybody.
Donny, that's because he's the bottom line. You know, all of this battling and what have you that they're setting up over in the Middle East, if you look at it, if you take a look at it on a map, they have surrounded Israel. The bottom line is, Donnie, it's all about Christ. It's all about Christ. Everything that's unfolded, the pole shift that they're speaking of that's going to happen is prophesied in the book of Isaiah. You know, this war with Syria is prophesied in the book of Isaiah and the book of Amos. It's all about Christ. It's man's total arrogance, defiance, rebellion against his creator. And it's not going to work. And they come up with all these lies and what have you to get all of this propaganda out there. So it's hard to find the truth. And they actually think, and it's actually, you know, funny to me, but they actually think that they are outsmarting God. Satan couldn't outsmart God. When he put Christ on the cross, that was the worst mistake he ever made, because he was defeated at that point. People say, oh, well, they've taken so much out of the Bible. People wake up. Everything that they took out the Bible, God knew they were going to take out the Bible. Man isn't smarter than God. Man isn't going to have his way. He's going to bristle up. And this is why we have to submit to the Lord so that we can be saved from the day of wrath that's going to come upon the face of the earth. The book of Revelations tells us that that God is going to have a field day with these people that stand up against him. For a period of 5 months, death will flee from man. 5 months. That means you can be busted, your head busted out in the street, laying down, eye out on the ground, everything, and you still will not be able to die. The time is short, and the Lord is coming, and his word is unfolding. And the thing about it is, people, you know, don't want to know. You know, and they get pulled in. But you know what? That's where we come in at. And I've been praying for you, my brother. I've been praying that the Lord will reveal to you his truth and open your eyes. And I can barely sit in my chair, Brother Donny. I am so thankful that you see that the Andromeda Council, this is a bunch of lies. If man could have did all that stuff that he was doing, he would have went back in time and made everything the way he wanted, and we'd look around and it would just be. He wouldn't still be going through all this that he's doing. But the fact of the matter is, Christ told us all about this. And we know that evil is evil. We're prepared. We know we know they some low down wicked son of a gun. We know that we're going to be killed. We know our destiny. We know what's going to happen with us. Their problem is they don't know what's going to happen to them. We've embraced ours, and we're not going to turn from Jesus. We're not. Christ is who we're going to look at while and just like when the Romans burned the Christians and what have you and everything, and they still did not denounce Christ, just like during the Holocaust and what have you, the Jews did not denounce God. We're not about to turn either. We're not.
Yeah,
so bring it on.
You know what killed me was this weekend I was having a conversation with someone, and I'm not going to mention who it was, but I was having a conversation. He's another radio talk show host, and And I said to him, I said, I think this TOLEC thing is a bunch of bullshit. And he says, he goes, Donnie, he goes, we have to remember that we have to look to the water bearer, that Christ was the time of Pisces, his time is past. I'm like, no. No. His time is past. So you're trying to tell me that okay, I look to Christ as my best friend, my he's in my heart. So you're going to tell me just to forget about him and move on? No. Sorry. Not going to work. Yeah, we might be going into a new age, all right. Yeah, the time of the reign of Lucifer.
Exactly. Just like Christ told us. But it's not going to last long. Evil only prospers for a time.
No.
It's not going to last long. But we're going to sit up and we're going to be able. And you know what really gets me? I'm not going to take over anything. But you know what really gets me, Donnie? These people aren't even seeing how Satan is using and manipulating them, and Satan already knows that, he's going to be bound in heaven, and he's going to have in hell, and he's going to have plenty of folks with him. But here's the kicker. He knows that after the 1,000-year reign, he's going to get a reprieve, and he's going to be able to go to and fro and deceive for a time again, while they are still burning in hell.
Yep.
Anywhere in the world I would follow nobody that I know already got the setup in place against me. There's nowhere in the world. It's not going to happen. But I am, I am Donnie. I'm so glad I stayed up, and I got to work in the morning. I ain't going to be here too long, but I'm so glad. I am so glad, my brother. The Galactic Council and all that.
Oh no, it's what pissed me off is he specifically said he did not want to speak to me. Specifically mentioned my name, and when you start specifically mentioning my name, because I'm going to come up to you and ask you about Jesus Christ, you, my friend, are a demon. You, my friend, are a fraud. If you do not want to accept Jesus Christ into this whole thought process of an Andromeda Council and star systems and all this other malarkey, and you don't want to answer a simple question on how Jesus Christ fits into all of that, then, my friend, you are wrong. That's the way I feel about this TOLEC guy right now. And I'm going to tell every single one of my listeners not to listen to this fucker ever again. Because it pisses me off when you call my name out specifically because he thinks that I'm a Jesus lover. I am a Jesus lover. I love the Lord Jesus Christ more than anyone knows. But I'll tell you one thing. These people that are trying to deceive others and not tell people the truth and the good news about the Lord Jesus Christ. I tell you one thing, I might be a sinner, and and I sin every day. I have been struggling with sin as of late. But yet I still know in my heart, deep inside me, who is my Savior.
They want to know in the chat room, who is this guy you talking about, Donnie?
This guy named TOLEC is part of he's going around all the radio stations, and he's just, he I fell into the guy's trap too. I mean, Alfred Weber is the one who introduced me to the guy, and and I trust Alfred. Even Alfred, he was, always said that you put a caveat in front of the guy's stuff. But, I thought, okay. But then I was on this guy's, I was on a radio show, and I asked him about the Lord Jesus Christ. And he stumbled over his words and couldn't figure out what the heck to say. And he's like, well, I haven't talked to the Andromedan Council about the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm like, how can you not talk to what? Here, there's the captain.
Oh man! So what are they saying? They actually believe the propaganda that man descended from apes? That they are actually an accident?
Oh, I don't know what their thought process is on evolution. I don't really care anymore. I really don't. I'm just so fed up. I'm just like, all I know is, I'm just fed up. I'm fed up. So I'm even sometimes fed up with my own self. I'm like, you know what? I've been talking about Nibiru now for a year.
Oh, you get close, my brother. I remember them days. I was sick and tired of me. I remember them days, my brother.
Oh, I'm just you know, I'm to the point where it's like, you know, I've lost all interest in any of this crap. I really have. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm like, tonight, I'm like, what am I going to talk about going on the air? You know, I'm just sitting here, I'm like, you know, I know what's coming down the line. I know. I mean, I watched that satanic opening ceremony.
You think? I didn't watch it, but I saw some of the things that was posted and whatnot, and I was like, oh my goodness, these people done embrace Satan. Oh my goodness.
I was completely flabbergasted, and you know, I was just like, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, you're embracing the industrial age, yeah, right. You know, I'm sitting there, all I can see is fire and brimstone. You know, I was like, ah. I'm like, you know, and it just to me, it just, you know, it was, you know, I mean, there was one highlight which I thought was kind of cool, where the Queen and James Bond fell out of a helicopter. I thought that was kind of cool. But other than that, you know, I see the Queen come out with her reptilian ass, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there, and here are people just falling for all of this, and it just, oh, I'm just, and here we are, doing the same stuff, different day, and you know,
exactly.
It's to me, it's like, you know, people have been asking me, you know, where have I been on my Facebook? Hell, I haven't even been on my Facebook in a week. I'm just like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know, last week I couldn't even talk. I literally could not even talk. My voice was so gone.
Oh my goodness, you couldn't talk.
I couldn't.
There's a headline.
I had to run a repeat because I was like, my voice was so scratchy because I don't know what it was. All of a sudden I kind of, you know, I started feeling kind of ill, and I was like, you know, I didn't feel good. So I ran a repeat. You know, I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, okay, I couldn't talk, let alone 3 hours. And I was like, and then I knew I had a show on Friday or on Saturday night, so I had to I was trying to save up some energy for that. But I'm just sitting here, I'm watching everything go down. You know, I mean, we've had this tragedy here in Colorado, which is a major tragedy, you know, but yet, you know, I know that was some sort of psychological operation. We've got, you know, we've got the campaign stuff starting to heat up. I mean, you know, the war between Romney and Obama. We've got, you know, what's happening over in Syria. We've got Israel that's on the brink of World War III. And, you know, just to me, it's like, okay, when is all of this going to bust so I can just get it over with? I mean, when can I just get this over with? Because I seriously I cannot live life like this anymore. I can't do it.
Brother, stay focused. stay focused because we're trying to enlighten others. Stay focused because it is too important. Now that your eyes have been opened, you're obligated now to open others. And, you know, and Donnie, like we've always said, even if it's just one.
Well, yeah, I know. Oh no, I know that. I'm just like I can't. You know, I was sitting there. I go to a meeting every Monday for people that have post-traumatic stress, like I have, and was sitting here and I was talking to a vet today, and I turned to him and I said, how can we, what can we do? And because this life, the way we're living it right now, is just not happening. And he was talking about something that happened in Vietnam with him, and he's like, all I have is faith in this, and he pulls a cross on his around his neck, and he's like, that's all I got. It's all I got now. My wife and everybody is gone. And I felt, him and I have become kind of good friends over the last few months. And all of these people that I've called out earlier here, Benjamin Fulford, TOLEC, David Wilpack, all these, I want to call them idiots, but yet that's judgmental. But they have given so much false hope over the years, and it's just like and you kind of put a little bit of trust in them. And then Leo Zagami turned to me over the weekend. He's like, "Don't put your trust in any of these idiots." He's like,
I can't argue with that one.
He's like, and Leo. I mean, Leo is preparing for. I mean, the 7 years of tribulations, 2013. He's like, that's it. It's game over. I mean, when 2013 hits, it's game on, and the elites are going to get their way for about 7 years, and it's going to be a very big struggle for the next 7 years, and I don't know what we could do. I mean, it just 7 years, that puts me. I'm turning 43 on August 21st. I'm turning 43, so that means I'm going to be 50 years old when all this crap gets said and done, and that's going to be a long time. I'm getting too old for this crap. I just want it to go. Get it started already.
Yeah, well, you know what? I pray that we have enough time, man, to wake up as many of our brothers and sisters as we possibly can, man. Because man, man, hell ain't gonna be nice. And Christ told us this parable about the rich man and Lazarus, and the rich man was in the synagogue and he was praying, and Lord, I thank you that I'm not like this Gentile, and that you have blessed me with this, and all this here and everything. And the Lazarus, the poor man, he just fell down and said, Lord, have mercy on me, I'm a sinner. Well, they both died. The rich man went to hell, and Lazarus went into Abraham's bosom. And this is the story where, he looked up and saw, Lazarus in Abraham's bosom, and asked Abraham, would he let Lazarus dip his finger in some water and touch his tongue because he's tormented. That's an insight. That's an insight that people aren't noticing. Because when you're in hell, there is going to be a big gulf in between hell. And it's not like the pictures that they show you all over the internet, where hell is going to be, in the center, and, Christ is the cross and you go over. No, heaven is going to still be above and hell is going to be beneath. But you're going to be able to see heaven and see those that warned you, that tried to tell you that you've wronged, that you walked over. That's a hell all in itself. Forget the torment. See that they made it and you didn't, and you're over there, that's a hell all in itself.
I remember my buddy Steve Webb. He's a he's a Jew that turned Christian and was born again. And he's like, Donnie, you know, when the rapture comes, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to join you. I go, why is that? He says, well, I have to sit here and one of my duties is going to be that I'm going to have to sit here and preach the word and deal with it, you know, because I followed down the other path, and that's not going to be for me. And I was, you know, I can remember sitting at the Mississippi River talking to him about that, and I'm like, I tried to tell him that that's wrong. I don't believe that that's right. I believe that he'll be, if there is such thing as a rapture, I would believe that he would be raptured away as well. I would hope.
Well, you know, it's not going to come like people think it's going to come. They have misinterpreted or twisted the scriptures. You know, Star mentioned in chat room that, you know, it was created by a pastor in England in 1858 and what have you and everything. But, you know, what is actually mentioned is, you know, what Christ said himself. When he's going to return, you know, it's going to be at the sound of the trump. And, you know, and he's going to call his out. He's definitely going to call his out, because we're not going to be here for the day of wrath when God takes vengeance on the people of the earth. Now, that doesn't mean we've made it and we're going into eternity, because all will still stand before the judgment seat of Christ, you know.
Right.
But we will be saved from that 5 months of terror and torment, which is the day of wrath that the book of Revelation tells us about. And people need to wake up and get right now, because everything is unfolding. Everything the Bible said is unfolding. And it's like, if you don't believe with all of this shoved in your face that was predicted thousands of years ago, then you don't want to believe. So you get what you get. It's simple as that. It was your choice all the time.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, I know I've been prepping for this since I was a young boy, you know. I can remember when I was sent to a BMX camp when I was younger, and unfortunately the host, well, I can't say unfortunately, because I was sent to Prescott Valley, Arizona, and the host family I stayed with, I didn't know at the time, they were a very devout Baptist group of people, but they were also a small little cult. I didn't know that at the time, but I remember one of the first Christmas gifts they ever gave me was this book called 666. I was 12.
Wow.
I was 12.
Wow.
I was 12. And I would love to find, I had that book for many, many years, and I just remember reading it at the time I was 12 years old, and I'm like, holy crap, this is what's going to happen, you know? And I'm like, and it's just wild how much of that stuff is coming true.
Oh yeah. It's you know, to me it's comforting. Everything that comes, you know, to pass from the Word of God is a comfort, you know, because I know it won't be long. I'm going to continue to speak out, you know. You can come at me, you know, because the government, anytime somebody speaks out against the government and everything and starts, you know, opening too many people's eyes, they, you know, come up with one of those scenarios, and they come up with it that's so obvious, you know, and it's obvious because the government is sending a message. Yeah, well, you turn on us, we will kill you. Yeah, you know it's us. Yeah, we did all that at the movie theater and what have you, and killed all those people. Yeah, we know you know it was us. We sending y'all a message. that's what they're doing.
Oh,
But we already know. We already know. You're not fooling us. Christ has told us, you evil, you wicked. We know. You done fell in love with money, yourself, and all those other satanic influence. You ain't got nothing coming. And nothing you can do is going to sway a real follower of Christ. No torture, no threatening of death, no hunger pains, no killing of our family, because you grab my kids if you want to, because I done already raised my kids and I told them, you know what, somebody grab daddy and whatnot, talking about if you don't turn and whatnot, we gonna kill your daddy, tell them, kill him. Don't you turn. So, you can do whatever you want to do. You can come at me, feel free, because until I'm stopped, I'm steady going to speak out. And I'm steady going to tell the truth and preach the gospel of Christ.
I had to change the subject for a second. I was just looking at my Facebook, and I saw this thing, which I thought was hilarious. And here's a great question. Why the fuck is McDonald's the official restaurant of the Olympics?
Man. Ronald, Ronald a bad man.
Ronald McDonald. I just saw that
Ronald
movie.
a bad man, Donny.
Remember that movie It by Stephen King?
Vaguely.
It's all about the killer clown in the sewer.
Okay,
Yeah. I watched that this weekend, and I got a little scared. I was like, because I did. It brought me back to my childhood. Here's this, and there's some, it makes you think. I mean, there's monsters out there, even though they might not really be monsters. This world is filled with them. Filled with these monsters, these demons that are possessed.
Well, that's what they are. That's what they are. You can call them monsters, you can call them aliens, but the bottom line is they demons.
I'm flabbergasted tonight. It's like my mind is completely blank. It's like all I want to do is like grab my Bible and just read. That's all I really want to do. It's to the point right now, and God forgive me for swearing, and I'm trying to fix this cursing thing because that is one thing that I really need to fix.
Yeah. Blessings and cursings out the same mouth. These things should not be so. How you gonna bless somebody with that mouth you cursing with?
Yeah, I know. But I'm just angry, and
well, and it's called righteous indignation. But as the Lord told us, Donny, get angry, but sin not.
This just in.
He know we gonna get angry. He know, that people that love him are gonna be pissed off because this is such a blatant disregard of our Lord. This is such an attack on us. The thing with Chick-fil-A has nothing
the Chick-fil-A thing. Yeah. I forgot about that.
That has nothing to do with that man. That's the homosexuals and the satanic movement making a statement, and they are rounding up all of those that are on their side.
Yeah, did the guy just say, I just agree with same-sex marriage? He didn't even say anything about gays or anything, right?
No. He just said he was for the traditional family.
Marriage. Yeah. So here's the Zionist mayor of Chicago saying, we don't want...
Oh, my God. See,
Ralph Emanuel.
I've got to control myself from cursing. Because that son of a gun pissed me the hell off. Man, what you mean that, we don't want Chick-fil-A here. You don't speak for Chicago. You know, we don't even know who the hell you is, just like we didn't know who Obama was.
I
You gonna sit
I didn't realize he was from there.
Speak for us?
I was shocked because I was listening to what this whole hubbub was about, and I'm like, what? So somebody says I just believe in the traditional marriage, and now and their whole corporation isn't allowed in either Boston or Chicago. I'm like, what the heck is this all about? And I'm trying to listen to what the actual CEO said, and he said nothing about gay whatsoever.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, they have always stood for the traditional family. Always. They do teach those values, you know, in their employees, you know, and every employer has the right to say, okay, this is the rules of my establishment. You know, just like, you know, those people say, well, the rules of our establishment is we allow homosexuals. Well, the rules of my establishment is, you know, if you work here, you have to keep that to yourself.
Well, it's like no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Okay.
Remember those days? Remember those days?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. you know? So now, how in the world?
Now, if you say that, damn, you discriminated against me because I wear the shirt. I'm gonna sue your ass for $1 million.
Oh man. Yes, sir. The lawsuit, another one of the devil's gifts to the world.
The devil's gifts to the world. Who was the one that talked about that? Was that you and me talking about that?
Yeah, that's on that soundbite I got on the board. Think Man. You know, where folks, you know, actually believed in, you know, man evolving from apes and whatnot. Well, where the half man at? How come the ape's still here? You know, open up your mind. If we evolved from apes, then why is ape still here? It don't make sense when you actually are clear, when your mind is actually open. You know
what? There are some that I'm probably sure have evolved from apes. And those are the dumb motherfuckers. I don't know, man.
I'll be back, Donny. Go continue. I'll be back. I got to run for a minute.
What now?
I got to run for a minute. I'll be back.
All right, that's fine. All right,
I'll
guys.
Be back.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. You know, 32 degrees of insanity. What else could I say, guys? We've come a long route. We are now approaching. How's that? All right, that scared the living Jesus out of me. I'm going to take a quick break. I got some people in the queue right now. If you guys want to give a call in, 347-324-3704. I see area code 508-602-646 are in the queue. You know, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. You know, I didn't know where I wanted to kind of take this show tonight. It's one of those nights where Donnie is just confused. Maybe that's a good word for it. Confused. Where do we go from here? Because I'm now approaching my 1-year anniversary of being on the air with Freedomizer Radio. 1-year anniversary will be next week. Alfred Weber will actually, 1-year anniversary will be this Wednesday, I think. Alfred Weber will be on the show on Wednesday night. Well, we'll be going into complete detail about the Nibiru flyby. And, of course, Alfred is stating, and I'm more going down the lines of what Alfred has to say, is that this is going to be taking place in June or July of 2013. I am believing now that some of the people that are coming out of the woodwork, and it's kind of odd that Lucas and John Moore have teamed up. And if you guys have seen that particular video of them, they're promoting this thing down in Arizona, they are showing Nibiru, the destroyer they call it, as the same coin-looking object that I've been showing you all along. So let's ask the quick question: who have they been following? Why isn't Donny included in these particular talks? Why isn't Donny brought to the table on some of this? I was talking to another radio show host, and we both came up with the same consensus. The reason why Donny isn't brought to the table is because of one simple word: Jesus. Because I'm going to throw that out wherever I go. And they don't want to talk about it. Just like Arizona said when Arizona was on with me, and hopefully Arizona's out there listening tonight, maybe he'll join me on the air, that Arizona, when John Moore said something that really stuck out to both me and Arizona, where he said the celebration of the Lord Jesus Christ's birthday on December 25th, 2012. What? Not Christ's birthday. A pagan holiday. What are you talking about? So the one thing I wonder, did you hear that? That was kind of wild. Weird motorcycle cruising by. The one thing that I wonder is that this is a military coup of some sort to get this information out, and that it's all disinformation. Everything that we hear is disinformation. Maybe even my stuff is disinformation. I know what I see. I know what I have shown. I've shown you guys everything. I've shown you pictures. I've shown you detailed information. These guys just say, "Oh, my insider from the defense department that cannot be named tells me Nibiru is going to be here." I could do that. Christy and I were laughing the other day. Christy and I said, you know what? We should start saying we are the ambassadors of Planet X, and that we've channeled this specific information from Planet X and the Enochian Council. And we were going to come up with this elaborate plan, this elaborate story. We should do that. We'd make millions. We'd make millions. But no, I'm all about getting the truth out. I believe deep in my soul that Nibiru is real. When it's coming, I don't know. I have no clue. I can try to find it and follow it as best as I can with the tools that are available to me. I've shown you guys a lot. And it's funny now, when I saw that John Moore and Lucas little thing of the destroyer, and there I see my Nibiru that I've been showing you guys all along on their video. Interesting. That being said, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick commercial here. 32 Degrees of Insanity right here on freedomizerradio.com. If you'd like to give a call in, feel free to give us a jingle, 347-324-3704. Again, that's 347-324-3704. I got the hiccups tonight, guys, so bear with me. We'll do a little ad here from our good old friends, Liberty Stickers. Where are you? We got so much stuff. Here we go.
You know the Constitution like the back of your hand. You've read books, listened to podcasts, attended lectures, surfed websites, and watched videos. You've made liberty your life's goal, but something seems to be missing. Stickers from LibertyStickers.com. Exercise your freedom of speech with the world's most dangerous bumper stickers. That's LibertyStickers.com. But wait, there's more. You can buy Liberty Stickers wholesale. Get them for 99 cents each when you put 100 or more in your shopping cart in any combination. Sell them or give them away. They're great for gun shows, flea markets, fairs, outreach, and more. Earn extra money, promote freedom, and spread the word. Need custom stickers, labels, or decals for your organization or business? Liberty Stickers makes them. Go to LibertyStickers.com to order or call 877-873-9626. LibertyStickers.com, the world's most dangerous stickers.
This is Mercy. If you're listening to this message, warriors, you are the resistance. Warriors, you are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. We are at the brink. Read about it in The Sovereign, newspaper of the resistance. Available now at newsstands everywhere. The Sovereign is a monthly 24-page tabloid newspaper featuring incendiary content about life during wartime in the age of Obama. Warriors, keep to date every month. Remember to read The Sovereign, newspaper of the resistance. Available at newsstands everywhere. This alert is for all you boppers out there in the big city, all you street people with an ear for the action. This is Mercy. If you're listening to this message, warriors, you are the resistance. This is Mercy. Mine will be the last voice you will ever hear. Don't be alarmed.
Want to spread awareness to your neighbors, family, and friends about what is going on in our country today? It may be things you already know, like the large number of FEMA camps spread around this country to lock up citizens like you and me. What legislators are doing to strip states and people of their sovereign rights. Or legislation giving states the power to force vaccinate under a declared state of emergency. Do your neighbors understand what is going on? William Lewis Films offers the perfect tools to inform our population about this government's tyrannical shift from a constitutional republic to a despotic democracy. Films like 911 Ripple Effect, Beyond Treason, One Nation Under Siege, Washington You're Fired, Camp FEMA, Enemy of the State, Don't Tread on Me, Blood of Patriots, The Ron Paul Uprising, even 911 in Plain Sight, William's first production, are all available at WilliamLewisFilms.com. Get your DVDs today at WilliamLewisFilms.com. Educate against the police state.
Fed up with the lies, manipulation, and deceptions of everyone else's opinion? Tired of being ridiculed into conforming to other standards because your standards are based in biblical principles? In truth, there is liberty. Blessings, Freedomizers. Join me, Servant Emmanuel, right here on the Freedomizer Radio Network as I host the Sound Doctrine Christian Ministries program every Tuesday and Saturday afternoons, noon Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, for truth according to the Holy Scriptures. With like-minded individuals who are not so heavily minded that they are no earthly good. Let us stand together, Freedomists, not in their truth, not in our truth, but the truth according to the Word of God. We will have prayer, biblical studies, occasional guests with world news, with issues that are of concern to the body of Christ. Come and fellowship with us as we stand against the coming New World Order. Blessings and peace to your home. Sound Doctrine on FreedomizerRadio.com. Really? Because I hear nothing.
Do you have a fan going?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. But as I was saying, I do not believe that John Moore is a fraud. I just believe he's been misinformed. I don't think that anything is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen on August 17th and August 21st. Exactly what I said before. I believe that we're probably going to see some sort of earthquake at that period of time. That could be a possibility of a near flyby of Nibiru. It's going to be in the vicinity. I don't believe we're going to see it just yet. I think we're not going to see it until the end of December, towards the December 21st, 22nd, 23rd timeline. That's my thought. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen. Maybe we can finally put this whole thing to rest. I hope it happens on August 17th. I hope John Moore is correct. I hope he's correct in that this thing shows its face and that everybody sees it for all the world to see, and the debate can end and we can move forward. But I tell you, we're approaching the 17th fairly quickly. We're 2.5 weeks away from it. And I tell you, if something big like this is on its way, the governments are not saying one damn thing about it.
I wonder why.
Well, you would think that there would be some sort of and we've got a caller I'm going to bring on, this guy named Tim. He's on here in a second. But, you would think that there would be some empathy from these government officials that would at least give us a little bit of warning that we can at least prepare not only ourselves but our family. But the most important thing is to prepare the children. Because if the children don't know what's going on, then we got a big problem.
Oh, yes. Because when the kids go to panicking, that pulls on folks hard. Oh. And you're talking about a mess.
Oh, big time. A big time mess. And especially you get these, older kids going into panic mode or anarchy mode or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Those that are able to wreak havoc, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Yeah, but there's a lot of good kids out there too. I remember when my buddy D went to prison, and I walked him to, he gave himself up, and I walked him to jail. And he's a fellow brother of Christ, and I walked him to jail, and I told him to give himself up. He had some custody child, what do they call it, where you pay child support. And he didn't get, he hadn't got that all paid, so he had to turn himself in to the cops. And I walked him there, and he left me with all of his jewelry. He had a bling like it was crazy. And his son came to pick it up from my house. And his son was 18 years old. And I turned to his son, and I said, well, what do you, I go, you guys are our future. You guys need to help protect us, And he says, you don't worry about one thing, Uncle Don. Satan ain't got nothing against us. We'll take care of it. And that gave me some hope.
All right.
Gave me a little bit of
kind of strange the way you said that. Maybe you're just quoting him wrong.
Maybe. Well, how did I say it?
Satan ain't got nothing against us.
No, Satan ain't got nothing.
That kind of sound like they with him, so he ain't against them.
No. Satan ain't got nothing. How does he say it? I forget how these kids talk, man. Satan ain't got nothing on us or something like that.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? He was like, Satan, don't worry about it. We can handle Satan. We he ain't gonna win. There ain't no winning for Satan in this game. And we know it, and we'll stand up above it. And so that gave me a little sense of hope. That some of these kids understand that. That it is and Satan is about ready to take his downfall. He's going to take as many people with him as he can. And that's why I think all of this propaganda that's happening right now is because it is Satan's fault. I'm going to bring this 602 area code. Tim, welcome to the show.
My phone's gonna die, man.
You're here, brother.
Okay, this is Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Phoenix, Arizona. Out of Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, guys. There's a couple of different ways if you want to spin this question tonight. What do you guys want to talk about? If you want to talk about Nibiru, if you look at the movie, the beginning of the movie, Fifth Element, also in Conan, where Red Sonja shows up, there's the same symbol. Also in Repo Man, there's the same symbol on the neck. I also believe that's also an Egyptian symbol as well. But in the Fifth Element, it talks about when all the planets line up, that's when the Satan's going to be loose, because it talks about the Satan's going to be loose. But first, there's going to be 3.5 years of peace. So we Christians still might be here and be persecuted. You don't know. There's some people that believe the pre-trib and the post-trib. That's a different story. I'm not going to get into all that. But anyways, if you want to, I have what the answer is, and it's been prophesied to me that I'm a messenger. I'm like a pony. I just deliver the message. And that was in church. But I believe I know what the answer is for the cure for America. It's very plain and simple, and it's pretty. I don't know. There's the Bible, and not all of it's all yippee-ki-yay, everything's all good and dandy. Wonderful fairy stories. There's a lot of death and all kinds of crazy stuff that happen. So anyhow, the message that I have is that if you want to cure the American debt and everything, you're going to have to first quit food stamps, Social Security, disability. You're going to have to quit all that, and then offer every person to resensitize them with the mark, and give them $1 million per person. And if you figure how many Americans are in America, 350 million, 400 million. How much did Obama spend on a stupid thing? It was 2.2 trillion on that healthcare thing. He could have gave everybody around the world $1 million. So you minus 350, 400 million. Let's say 400 million people in America. Okay. Let's say how many people are in prison, how many people are under 21, how many, and you just give them the money, 500,000. But the first thing you're going to have to do is come with all your bills and all your crap, your student loans, your house, your car. You pay all that. I mean, once you pay all that, and that's all, you pay child support, you catch up on everything's good, And if you quit your job or whatever and you fuck up, then, if you're out begging on the street or whatever, maybe get thrown into the FEMA camp. I don't know, but anyhow, they don't, they call them work camps, they call them FEMA camps, concentration camps. But anyhow, I do believe in alignment, and my family, they actually live in a place called Skeleton Mountain, and this place is so wicked. I mean, I've seen, skinwalkers, 3.5 feet tall owls, wingspan 12 feet. 3 of them, within 10 feet of me. I mean, just looking at me. But anyhow, I didn't see the color of their eyes. I didn't see no red or nothing. I couldn't even see their eyes. Shit, my horse took off. When the first one flew over, I just heard, and my horse was gone, and that owl sat in the tree and looked at me, and then I heard the sound again. 2 more flew over my head as I looked up about 7 feet above me. And they both landed with the first one, and all sat there looking at me. It was weird as shit. But anyhow, also it's like New Mexico, there was a lot of gold that was lost and shit. That Spanish 600 and something tons or whatever that was lost on the Colorado La Plata or whatever. I actually know somebody that knows where that's at, and actually it's written on the fucking rock, around rock, and I know the person that drove up to it was chased out by black helicopters and military. And as I was a little kid, I was about 6, 7 years old, and I was a fucking hellraiser, man. The first rumble I was in was when I was about 9 years old. First rumble I was in, the guy later threw a saw blade, that goes on a saw, a circular saw. with the big old jagged edges. He threw it, and I see it coming, and it went right across my forearm. I still have the scars, really deep. You can see them. But anyhow, at that age, I broke into this guy. His name was, I don't know if I should say his name, but let's just say his last name is Montoya. I broke into their car, and I was taking out fucking silver bars of fucking silver out of the car. I don't know if they got the gold, but they own a lot of fucking property, along with the BIA and all that shit, and the area as well. But anyways, I know a lot of fucking shit. I know how to kill skinwalkers. I know how many skinwalkers. There's like 4 or 5 different types. There's one that.
So you're actually. So you actually. You're actually for the New World Order then, huh?
No, just fucking. I already know what the cure is, and if you gave everybody $1 million, and they brought all their bills, their Transfax Union or whatever, they bring all that shit, get it all paid out, whatever it is, whatever debt, boat, car. But the only thing is, you'd have to outlaw guns, and you cannot buy guns with it. You cannot buy alcohol. You can buy cigarettes and, do some, buy whatever in the smoke shop. Bass all smell like chemical bullshit. I would say legalize marijuana and tax it. Treat it as beer. You only could do it at home, in your backyard, or so long as you're on your property, but you can't be doing it in public because that's just like an open container. Come on, let's get real.
Well, what you are saying is actually part of the New World Order agenda. Do you take this chip?
No, I just know the plan, but also the Bible talks about 4 demonic angels are going to be loosed from the Euphrates River. Okay, when there's going to be a horse blood that's going to come up to the horse's bridle. And I've already heard about Russia and China moving 900,000 troops in that direction already. And the first city that's going to go before Revelation starts and all this shit goes, because Jesus is supposed to come down on the Mount of Olives and all this stuff before everything actually goes down, is what we believe. But Damascus is going to be the first thing that's going to go. It's going to be obliterated or annihilated or whatever, And as far as like the Twin Towers, that's just Second Babel, and that's just that all ties into the whole prophecy of God coming back. And I know God, I'm thinking, well, God, we know what's going on and everything. Maybe God has a sister now. He has a son. I'm thinking, the time, I don't know. You never know, because you look at the Bible, and a lot of it talks about, the son, the fathers need to turn their hearts back to their sons, whatever, so it can heal the land and all this good stuff. But there's a lot of good stuff in the Bible, and there's also, you got to have the bad stuff with it too, But those 4 demons are going to be loosed and run rampant or whatever. But that depends on Gabriel's horn and. Plus all the new books, the forbidden books that have been discovered, the Dead Sea Scrolls that have been found in the last 2-3 years. And they were whole books of the Book of Gabriel, the Book of Enoch, and some other shit. I'm not talking about the Maccabees and all that old shit that was found in the 80s. This is shit that's been found, that's been found in the last 2-3 years, And you can YouTube it, and just put, Forbidden Books of the Bible, or Coast to Coast, or C2CAM, and then Forbidden Books of the Bible, or Forbidden Knowledge, or whatever. So, but yeah, that's what I would say. And then if there was a virus ever loose, it would be, I would say there'd be zombies, and they'd have to tag who's a zombie and who's not a zombie. If there was H1N5, that was somehow let loose, and because they talk about 3 or 4 different hand suitcase nukes that have been already slipped through America or Mexico or some stuff like that.
All right, well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. A lot. I don't know what to think of that one. I was kind of listening to it, and I didn't know what to say. I just kind of let it go, and I was thinking, but the only thing I would think of was it does sound very pro New World Order-ish.
He sounds kind of like a conformist, you know, because in actuality, they're saying after, you know, they weed out most of us Christians, that they're going to tell the people, you take this chip is going to have, it's either $20,000 or $50,000 of money on it.
Oh yeah,
you know how many people gonna run and get that chip there?
Yeah, actually, I read an article a couple of shows ago. Actually, it's $100,000 would be on the chip, and I mean every child, every sucker on the planet's gonna freaking put that that thing on there.
Man, look, them mothers gonna claim every child. In. Come on, babies. and they going down there. You can come on, get your chip.
Get your chip on there. Yeah, they got 9 babies. I'm a millionaire.
Okay, but you know what? When you take that chip, do you know that chip, Donnie, is actually all that information that is going to be on everybody's chip is actually housed in this supercomputer in Brussels called
the Beast.
The Beast.
Yeah, I've read about that. And the another thing is that I mean, I hear, and I don't know if this is fact or not, but I heard that in the Obamacare,
the RFID chip is in it.
It's in it, right?
It's mandatory. March 13th next year to get your Social Security, your disability, your 401k, your food stamps, your Medicare, your Medicaid. You're going to have to take the chip to get it.
What?
Yep.
March 13th of next year?
It's March 13th or March 23rd of 2013.
RFID for Social Security?
Yep. Disability, food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, 401ks, anything that's got to come through the system government, you're going to have the chip to get it.
That seems unconstitutional.
Since when does Obama care about the Constitution? You know, all this is implemented in after he gets reelected.
That's if he gets reelected.
Brother, I don't see how he's not. I don't want him reelected, by no means. But you know what? I don't see how it's not going to happen. Because first of all, I mean, it's impossible. It is utterly impossible for Mitt Romney to beat Obama. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I was shocked the other day when I saw a bunch of kids going around saying "Vote Obama" here in Reno. I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, well, because they have been deceived, and they're getting these subliminal messages that now they're proving they're doing to the kids. It's a known fact. It's all over the internet now. That the government has been doing these subliminal messages. And the government is laughing at, we did it, and? Exactly.
And? What are you going to do about it?
Exactly. What you going to do about it? Because you're going to end up like the folks that tried to tell about the Gulf oil spill.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay. I'm telling you, every time something like that happens, when them folks was gonna tell about 9/11 and what have you and everything, all them folks came up dead. All them people come up dead. All of a sudden, You know, folks were live and well. Some folks were on radio broadcast and saying, I was listening to a Proof show, and his guest was saying, you know, this one lady, you know, she was on the air, and she said, oh, no, I'm not going to kill myself, and what have you and everything, and, you know, I'm just going to go on and keep spreading the word. The next day, she committed suicide, or so they say. And it's just the government saying, yeah, we did it, and we sending you a message. And this gonna happen to you. What you gonna do about it? Yeah, y'all know we did it. Okay, you know we wanted the Small Arms Treaty to pass, and whatnot, and we sent our drone in to kill up all them folks. Okay, you know it, and that's their stance on it. They don't care. They think they're in charge, you know, and don't have the slightest clue about what being in charge is all about, because they would have, you know, they would gladly have, people would be glad to have them in charge if they were just fair. They don't have a clue. All of this taking power and running over people doing this, man, you setting yourself up. Evil only prospers for a time. But if you were a decent son of a gun, if you was fair with the people, they would love you. You wouldn't have to say and be like Obama and try and rescind the order that says in the Constitution that says a president can only be elected twice. The people would demand it.
Right.
But they don't even know how to use kindness. They actually, you know, they don't realize that you get more flies with honey. They don't realize it.
Well, I think oh my God, and that's contagious. Everybody, the whole audience is went, oh, yawn. You know.
Yeah, they know you sleeping.
Well,
they've been saying you're sleepy. All evening.
I am tired. I am very tired. Actually, I took a nap right before I came on the air tonight, and then of course I was trying to get my computer up and running because my computer is just shot. I need to buy a new one. It's to the point, but I'm just like
already.
Hang on, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I have got
what happened to the computer?
Oh, my fan's blown out on my laptop, so it's just getting really hot. And it's been 98 degrees here every day, and it doesn't look like it's going to break. The heat in the United States right now is just blowing me away. I mean, there hasn't been a break.
But it's all about that pole shift.
Well, you heard about Greenland, right?
What about it?
You didn't hear about Greenland? Yeah. Over a period of 72 hours, Greenland lost all of its ice sheets.
All of its ice sheets?
Yeah, the whole continent, which is normally covered with ice, within 72 hours it lost all of its ice. And NASA has a big thing on their website in regards to it. Some are saying that it was HARP technology that's doing it. I don't believe that. I believe that it has something to do with Nibiru, and the coming pole shift. But what I don't get is if Greenland lost all of this ice, where did it all go? That's the thing. I mean, we've got to.
Well, I mean, if it's got anything to do with the heat, you know, I mean, two things happened to it. The Earth sucked it up, and it dissipated back into the air.
And that's possibility. You know, that's one of the analogies is that it's in the atmosphere now, and that that HARP sent it out into the atmosphere. That's one of the theories. But yeah, I mean, literally, it was covered with ice on, I think it was July 26th or so, and then I think it was 3 days later, the entire ice sheet was gone from Greenland. So, I mean, And just a couple years back, the sun rose in Greenland at the wrong time, and nobody said it, made a hide or hair of that either. And it's weird crap's happening around this earth, man. And and people aren't paying attention. I mentioned that on my show on Saturday night. On people have been asking about, am I leaving Freedomizer Radio? No, I'm not leaving Freedomizer Radio. I am just doing my special edition on True Frequency on Saturday. So no, I will be here every Monday and Wednesday night. So don't worry about that. You got your Monday and Wednesday nights with me, so you can kick back and relax. So no need to worry. Okay, Protractor says, Donnie, the report I heard was the top 4 inches melted. Well, what I see on NASA, it went from complete white to all red. So I don't know if that's just 4 inches, but that's let's see if I can find the actual article here. Greenland loses ice. I'll just say ice. Greenland ice melt measured by NASA scientists. This was six days ago. Huffington Post. Greenland ice melt measured by NASA satellites reaches unprecedented level. Unprecedented melting of Greenland ice sheet this month has stunned NASA scientists and has highlighted broader concerns that the region is losing a remarkable amount of ice overall. According to NASA press release, about half of Greenland's surface ice sheet naturally melts during an average summer. But the data from 3 independent satellites this July, analyzed NASA and university scientists, show that less than a week, the amount of thawed ice sheet skyrocketed from 40% to 97%. In over 30 years of observation, satellites have never measured this amount of melting, which reaches nearly all of Greenland's surface ice cover. When Son Noem of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory observed the recent melting phenomena, he said in the NASA press release, "This was so extraordinary that at first I questioned the result. Was this real, or was it due to data error?" And it goes on. And it doesn't say anything about 4. No, this is a complete ice sheet melt. You there?
Who, me? Of course, yeah. I'm here.
All right. Yeah. So
I was just looking at this YouTube video. They're saying if Ron Paul lost, why is Mitt Romney still trying to steal his delegates? I think it's going to be an upset at this convention.
You did hear that they are going to audit the Fed, though.
What?
You heard that went through, right? That the Fed is going to be audited.
I heard that. I did. The findings, them people aren't going to come out with anything because the government ain't gonna let them.
No,
but yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, it's audit the Fed moves forward. Here's 13 hours ago. Here's the new thing. Audit the Fed moves forward. Senator Ron Paul last week, the House of Reps overwhelmingly passed by legislation calling for a full and effective audit of the. Oh, this is directly from Dr. Ron Paul. Last week, the House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed by legislation calling for a full and effective audit of the Federal Reserve. Well over 300 of my congressional colleagues supported the bill, each casting a landmark vote that marks the culmination of decades of work. We have taken a big step towards bringing transparency to the most destructive financial institution in the world. But in many ways, our work is only beginning. Despite the Senate Majority Leader past support for similar legislation, no vote has been scheduled on my bill this year in the Senate, and only 29 senators are co-sponsoring Senator Ron Paul's version of the bill in another body. If you're a senator, it's not listed at the link below, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is another smoke screen.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is. You know, we we just look at all of this. You know, Ron Paul is a major threat. I got to be honest, Donnie. I'm surprised that they haven't forced his hand and forced him out. I'm totally surprised. I do hear the concession attitude in his speeches now, though, and it's all about, you know, we're going to have a voice, you know, at the convention and everything, and it doesn't sound like, you know, he's actually now, you know, trying to win the nomination. It's just, you know, he wants to have his say.
Right.
That means you done gave up.
I think this is Arizona.
And he just can't tell. He just can't say that to all the followers, you know, because the Romney camp and the Obama camp can't have that, because that's going to be a problem. You know, if he's just, you know, if he just give up, because everybody going to know that the government forced him out. And I'm totally surprised that the government hasn't. But I can see why they haven't as well, because it's going to be a big issue, because they know how many people that are actually following Ron Paul. They know that Ron Paul could sweep Romney and get elected over Obama. And they know this. They know this. That's how come they're trying to keep him out of it.
Oh, I agree. I'm going to take a quick break here. I think I got Arizona on the line here. I'll be right back here with 32 Degrees of Insanity.
Ay, 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 la chupacabra, ¿por qué?
Are you tired of losing your herd of goats to the chupacabra? Are you worried about how you're going to eat because your goats were viciously ravaged? Call SNL Chupacabra Insurance today. SNL provides fast, speedy claims in the event of your goat farm being destroyed. Low rates, fast service, and professional attitude is what makes SNL your choice for Chupacabra Insurance. Call 855-CHUPA-NO today. 855-CHUPA-NO for a free rate quote. SNL Chupacabra Insurance, just in case the Chupacabra comes.
Ay, 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 la chupacabra.
All right, guys, we're back. 32 Degrees of Insanity, 10:46 in the PM, 113:01. You know, guys, I just remembered, you know, I didn't just remember, but we were supposed to have Sandra Sabatini of the Pythagoras Conference on with us today. She wrote me an email that she was not able to make it. We are going to reschedule that. We will have her on within the next couple of weeks, right here on 32 Degrees of Insanity. Just remember that we will have Alfred Weber on August 1st, my year anniversary on Freedomizer Radio. It will be my year anniversary show. So I hope you all tune in for that. Alfred and I will be talking about the two timelines, the 2012-2013 Path of Destruction, 2012-2013 Path of Love and Enlightenment. Which path are we going to go down? Which path is society going to choose? Which path is humanity going to choose? And it almost seems to me that, you know, everybody's like wanting this Armageddon. Everybody wants to see this earth flip up on its head. And just to wake the hell people up, you know? What do we need? Do we need some major catastrophe to happen for the earth to wake up, for humanity to wake up and to get these evil Kabbalists out of the White House and out of our government, out of our UN? Or are we going to be dictated for the remainder of our lives? You know, I got Arizona on. I'm going to bring him on in a second here. He called in. And I said, you know, I think that TOLEC is a fraud. It's a Andromeda Council bullshit. It's a bunch of crap. Here's a man that won't even talk to me, calls me out by name, because I have a relationship with Jesus Christ, TOLEC won't talk to me or talk to me on the air because I addressed that specific issue with him, and he doesn't wish to address that issue. Well, if you're not going to address the issue of Jesus Christ, then I'm going to call you out as a fraud. Because Jesus Christ has much to do with this as everything else. Forget about Nibiru, forget about the Andromedan Council, forget about all of that crap, because when it all comes down to it, it does come down to Christ, whether you like it or not. This man died on the cross for our sins, and for us to disrespect and walk away from that. And some people say, get away from religion. Jesus Christ is not a religion. He was a man. He was a divine being who died was sent down to this earth and died on that cross for you and I's sin. We're still a bunch of sinners. And when this comes through, and if it does come through, I hope you're ready with your maker. I hope to God you're ready for your American with your maker. And I'm going to bring Arizona onto the show. Arizona, welcome.
How you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm so fed up. I'm fed up. I'm just
everybody I know.
I'm just like, let's get on with this already. And you know what? I'm ready. I was telling Mr. Kenneth Emmanuel earlier. I said I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man. I'm so done. I'm ready. I'm done.
Well, if we see that little minor pole shift here shortly, that'll certainly open a lot of people's eyes, don't you think?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on John Moore? I don't know if this is disinformation. If I'm hearing a lot of different things from different people in regards to Moore. And I mentioned earlier in the show, remember when we were listening to that, you and I both pointed out, where he says, well, let's celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ on December 25th, 2012. And you and I both both of our flags went up, and we both were like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Let's celebrate Nimrod's birthday, one of the most evil people in history.
Yeah, and I just couldn't understand why he would have said that particular thing, and so I'm just wondering if Moore has been infiltrated.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. You don't got to be much of a follower of the Lord to know that he wasn't born in December.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, I think everybody knows that he was born, around the Feast of the Trumpets.
Yeah. So we're between
and that's
August
in September.
Yeah.
So, for him to make that statement, I have to shake my head. But, I've talked to him on a few occasions and stuff, and he's a pretty good guy, and I think he's trying to do the right thing, but I don't think he's on top of it.
Well, it's I'm just I tell you, and I say bring it on. If Moore's right, bring it on, because then it validates everything you've talked about, validates everything I've talked about, and coincidentally enough, Arizona, Lucas and Moore are doing some sort of thing down in Arizona. At the beginning of this month,
and Phoenix.
Yeah, something in Phoenix, and Lucas is coming out.
I wouldn't go down there if you gave me that whole valley.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: during the promo, what they're using as the destroyer is the same Nibiru pictures that I've been showing everybody, and I'm just like, that's quite interesting, And what makes me laugh is why don't they ever bring you to the table, me to the table. Let's all of us that have talked about this on a regular basis. Let's all put our minds together and let's say, hey, okay, this is what's going to happen. And you know what? The one thing that I see that you and I carry that a lot of these others don't, and it's a 5-letter word, and it's called Jesus.
Well, that might well be it. You know, I'll tell you what, there's a real good way to find out where they're at, and that's calling by his Arabic Hebrew name, and that's Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Because, Yeshua. Yeah, because, see, anybody that works for the devil is not allowed to say that name.
Yep.
That's something a lot of people don't know. Because when the Antichrist comes to power, he's going to dress up, he's going to look like, and he's going to act like the Lord, and he's going to call himself Jesus Christ. And a lot of people are going to be caught off guard because he's going to do miracles and, he's going to imitate the Lord, and nobody will really realize that he's the Antichrist until he's fully in power and got control over the whole world. And then they'll look at him and they'll listen to some of the stuff he's saying and they'll go, oh, no, this isn't Jesus Christ. This is the devil. And at that point in time, they'll realize that they've made a very serious mistake. But there'll be hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that'll have the mark of the beast by that point in time. And, of course, I don't have to tell you they'll be in real serious trouble.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were just talking about the mark of the beast, Kenneth and I, and it's, we're talking about this, Obamacare is now, implementing the RFID chip.
Mandatory mark of the beast, yeah.
Yeah, mandatory mark of the beast, and it's
right.
It's a scary thought, especially, I've got, my father's no longer with me, but my mother's still with me, and she's a Social Security recipient, and if she has to take a damn frickin' chip to get her Social Security check, that's crazy.
Well, no, you got to understand, they're handing out Social Security to everybody in Puerto Rico, everybody that crosses the southern border. Obama is trying to break Social Security. Social Security has got so much money in it that they borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed from Social Security. Not a dime's ever been paid back. And he's trying, it's got so much money, it was like the post office. They made the post office pay their health care benefits and a bunch of other trash 50 years in advance to break them. That's how much they had to take from the post office in order to break the post office.
Well, isn't the post office going broke right now?
Well, they took 50 years of retirement and medical health care from the post office in order to strip them of all of their reserve cash. The post office had enough money to operate, pay their retirement, pay all their benefits for 50 years in the future, and Obama stripped all of it away from them, demanding that they pay it all 50 years in advance, and it left them broke. And that's the reason why the post office is going broke, is because they had everything they had in the bank taken.
That's sanity.
Well, if you think about it,
no, that's reality, Donnie.
Yeah. Well, wait till the people of this country realize that the reason they want everybody's guns is because Hillary Clinton signed a deal with China last year, pledging the United States as collateral for all the debt that they have borrowed from China. And as soon as the United States is completely broke and can't make those payments no more, the World Bank's already told China and them that they could come and take possession of their collateral. And but they've got to get our guns away first, because otherwise we'll easily defeat them. With 45 million combat-trained veterans, it's going to be real hard for a bunch of Chinese and Russians to take this country down. And, of course, then you've got all the people that follow the Lord, and, of course, he'll protect them. But the rest of them, they don't have that, because they worship the source and all the other pagan crap that they worship. And they'll have no protection. It'll be whatever they've got in their closet, and that'll be all the protection they have. And, of course, there'll be a lot of them if there's a polar event here shortly that'll wake up. It'll scare them so badly that they'll go to the Lord, and I do believe that he's looking forward to that.
Amen.
But, as far as your timeline goes about, hell on earth and peace on earth, you might want to open Revelations and take a look at what the Lord had to say about your peace on earth. Because
there is no peace.
There is no peace on earth.
Yeah,
there
he
is no
said that
peace.
you can expect hell on earth. And I can tell you for a fact, he has shown me what's coming, and he's shown me the wars. He's shown me hand-to-hand battles and on and on and on. And I can tell you, we are not going into 2013 in peace. There is going to be a war here shortly, right here in this country, and it's going to be a real dilly. And anybody...
But of course, we have Russia with their own military base here on our soil, and China have their own military bases here on our soil.
There's a big German military base down in Alamogordo, New Mexico, that's as big as any U.S. military base, and they're flying the German flags on everything down there. And there's, you know, if you look up free trade zones, okay, that'll give you an idea just how many Chinese military bases there actually are in this country. We have been subverted from the inside completely by these criminals that are running this country. And I can guarantee you, anybody that thinks that there's going to be a peaceful solution, they're not using their head. They're dreaming, because these people have no intentions of going to prison. They have no intentions of being executed. They have no intentions of giving up their power. They will keep this country by force if need be. And just like Obama said, I will do what it takes to keep power. And so, you know, I think Ron Paul knows that. I think Romney knows it. I think they all know it. I think our congressmen and senators are either been bought off or their families have been threatened. I think the Supreme Court, they've been bought off. Their families have been threatened.
They don't know who they're dealing with, my brother. Obama is a Muslim. He do not care nothing about any American. He do not care anything. He was raised African and what have you. And have you ever talked to an African and accidentally called them a Negro or black? They want to bite your head off.
I lived
That's
in Daytona Beach in Florida for a lot of years, and the whole damn country down there is ran by blacks. And I can tell you what, the Baptist Church has got Florida completely sewed up, because they've got hundreds of storefront charities, and everything that gets given to any of the charities, in as far as Florida goes, I know about. The rest of the country probably the same, but in Florida, every dime that's given to charities by the government, by private agencies, anybody, if it goes to a charity in Florida, it's going to the First Baptist Church, and because they have hundreds of phony storefront charities set up, and all the money gets fed directly into the church. You go down there, and the top people in the Baptist Church are driving brand new Cadillacs. They live in $500,000 houses, and they're all living like kings. And none of the money that gets given to them ever goes to the people that are supposed to get it.
Oh yeah. That's the lay of the land now. And
being criminals is it's the way to get ahead for all of these people. The only thing is they don't realize that they're getting somewhere all right. They're earning their bus ticket to hell.
Oh, but of course, Donny, you know what? You are our best reader. Please do me a favor. Can I ask you just for everybody, please, Donny, read Matthew 24 for us. It's not long. Please do that.
No, that's a good one to read too.
Please read that for us.
That one and read Isaiah 24 too.
Matthew 24. Let's see here.
Read that for us, Donny.
All 51 verses?
Yeah.
All right. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto him, See ye not all things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, what shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these things are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you upon the afflicted, and shall kill you, and shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And my false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, that love of mine shall wax cold. But
the love of many.
The love of many shall wax cold. But he, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by the Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Then let him which be in Judah flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down and take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that they are the child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in winter, neither or on the Sabbath day, for that shall be the tribulation, such as what was not since the beginning of the world, this time, nor ever shall it be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved, but the elect sake, that those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, and insomuch that it were possible that they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even in the west, so shall come it on the Son of Man be. For whoever the case is, there will be eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the signs of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with the power of great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and that shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree, where his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves. He know the summer is nigh, so likewise ye shall see all things, now that it is near, even at its doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass, till all things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall be the coming of Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, merry and giving marriage, until the day of Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also be the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two in the field, the one shall be taken, and the others left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, ye know not what the hour for the Lord doth come. But know this, that if a good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready in such an hour as they think that not the Son of Man cometh. who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them the meat in due season. Blessed is the servant who is the Lord, when it cometh find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if the evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with all the drunkards, the Lord of the servant shall come in the day when he looketh not for him, and in the hour that he is not aware, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion. With the hypocrites there shall be weeping and gnashing at their teeth.
Yeah,
that's hell.
In hell.
Yep.
That's hell.
Yep, that's what he's talking about, the gashing the teeth and stuff. He's talking about that bus ticket to hell.
And all of these servants that are smiting all the others, and what have you, that's the powers that be.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, the Lord ain't coming.
Oh, no, that's exactly what they think. And they think that by ripping off all the poor people, who the money that's supposed to be going to them to help them, they're really badly mistaken. They're screwing up so bad I can't begin to tell you. But of course, you already know, don't you?
And, of course, and you know, and you know what Donnie was saying. They're going to deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you.
Yep.
And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. We know what's coming. We know our destiny. You evil, low down, no good, wicked son of a guns, y'all going to persecute us, y'all going to kill us and whatnot, and we already know it.
Yep.
And
we know what's coming.
Bring it on. Bring it
on.
Well,
you know, that's what I tell people all the time. I say, I don't want to blow you out of the water there, Donnie, but I hate to tell you this, but I think all these people that are talking peace and love to you, that's a wonderful thing. Peace and love your brother, it's a commandment. But there's a catch to all of that. I think they're just burning up your airtime. Anybody that can read the Bible knows that if you believe what the Lord is telling you, then you know it's not going to be peace and love like these people are talking.
Well, so we're not fitting to all come together. You know, Christ didn't even come for us to come together. Christ came I came not to bring peace, but a sword. I came to set man at variances. I came to pit father against son, mother against daughter, daughter against mother-in-law.
Do you know why he did that?
Because you got to choose. You got to choose.
He did this to separate the tares from the wheat. That's what it was all about, to separate the tares from the wheat. And if you think about it, you look around and the tares are really starting to become obvious out in the field now. The wheat is easy to see, and the tares are even easier because they're standing out like a sore thumb.
Well, I
self-centered, prideful, arrogant.
I completely agree. I mean, it's just like, I'm sitting here and I listen to, even some of the guests that I've had on the show, I sit back and I'm just like, man, I have fallen victim to it because I would hope, I would pray that we could have some sort of peace, but unfortunately that it can't be that way. It's got, he's going to come back with his sword in his hand, and it's going to be bloody.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to tell you there, that all of these people that are preaching peace and love, they're going to be preaching it right when sudden destruction comes, and they're going to be caught completely off guard. It's just like I told that one guy. I said, I don't care what you talk about as far as what you're saying, because I got news for you. When the soldiers are kicking your door in and gunning down you and your family, you're going to realize at that minute that all of that wishful thinking you were doing was nonsense. That's the reason why the Lord warned everybody so that they could be prepared for the day of the war and the sword coming, and they would be prepared and ready. And unfortunately, there's millions of people that are being led astray by this peace and security crap. It ain't gonna happen.
And the prosperity and everything, and the Lord wants you to have, and the Lord gonna give you this, and the Lord gonna, you know what? You must be out your mind. The Lord is on His way back, and all of this that the Word of God done said, ain't gonna be no peace. God ain't trying to give you no mansion and what have you and everything. God don't want you in no big car. God said, look, it's time. You need to be focused on me. I'm going to leave you right here. I'm going to leave you right here with them. And you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to not only are you going to have to go through the crap with them, because their peace treaty with Israel isn't going to last but 3.5 years. And then you're going to have to go through the crap with them, for 3.5 years. But then after that, the day of wrath going to come. And for 5 months, it's going to be hell on earth.
Let me ask you a question there. You're a minister or something, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm a watchman for the Lord. I work for Him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm not a Bible scholar by any stretch of your imagination. But I do work for the Lord, and I have a specific job that He has me doing, and I work at it every day. But now, I was reading somewhere in the Bible, and maybe you can explain this to me. Some of His people are going to be taken up and protected for a while and then put back. Am I right about that?
They're not going to be put back. It's not going to go like that. The elect is going to be taken out. Those that are going to be at the wedding feast of Christ, which the Bible calls the bride of Christ. They are going to be at a point taken out of here, and they're going to be at the wedding feast. And it's probably, is from my understanding, it's going to be during the tribulation period and what have you. Because when Christ come and actually step foot on the earth, it's going to be, He's coming to battle man and to set everything in order.
Yeah, well, I know people that have already had visions of being part of His warrior crowd. I didn't have the heart to tell them that they've got to die to be in His army. But
seemed like that should have been a moot point.
Well, I'll tell you something. You'd be surprised at some of the stuff that people I know have visions of. The Lord has shown me everything that's going to happen, and that's the reason why I'm so well versed on everything. But amazingly enough, He shows me right up until the day of the pole shift, and then there's a blank period for unknown amount of time. And the next thing that when everything starts again, I'm walking down the beach and I'm looking at everything in the water, and I'm looking around, and everything for as far as I can see in every direction is covered with mud, and mud fields everywhere. A few trees sticking out of the mud here and there. No buildings. All the buildings are gone, and it's just mud everywhere. And we're standing next to the beach, looking out into the water, and we're looking at the at about a 1 inch, about a 1 foot surf coming into the beach. The skies are clear, and just a few little puffy clouds. And of course, I already know that it's not going to be that way during the tribulation, because there's going to be a long period of hard rain. It's going to be extremely cold outside after the pole shift, and there won't be a lot of survivors, because most of them won't have stocked up with enough supplies to make it for that period of time, with no ability to grow anything, because it's going to be dark, windy, rainy, and cloudy, and real cold. and that's going to go on
you're not going to be able to grow nothing in the cold if that's true.
It's going to go on for the rain. The rain is going to go on for at least 6 months, maybe a year. I'm not quite sure how long that period's going to go on, but it's going to be for quite a while.
You know, the Lord showed me that as well. That I remember last summer when I was having some visions, and I could feel this coldness, and I remember sitting in my apartment, and the Lord was speaking to me, and He said, "It's going to be a cold one. Get ready for it."
Oh yeah, it's going to be colder than the tar out there. You know, I mean, even though I've seen what it's going to be like, I'm not in on it for some reason, and I that's the reason why I was asking the minister there about that, because for some reason or another, as soon as the pole shift starts, something happens, and I don't see the Earth again until after everything's over, the weather's cleared up, and it's warm outside, and that's the next time I'm back. I actually see all this other stuff happening from another location, and I really don't know where that's at, but I can tell you what, and this is something that everybody better take to heart. There is a bloodbath coming in America, and it's going to be a bloodbath because so few people are going to be ready.
Well, I think we're already seeing the beginning parts of that. I mean, what happened in Aurora, Colorado, it was just a precursor to what they were just seeing what they could do.
That was one of the government's false flag deals, with mind control people. I mean, I was listening to Proof Radio on Freedomizer here before I switched over to you, and they were talking about that, and they were having a discussion as to how they picked out the people that they used for these mind control operations. What they don't understand, which MK Ultra down in Marathon, Florida, they get the kids when they're little, okay? They take them from their parents, and then they pick out the ones they want to use, and they traumatize them. They rape them, beat them. They do all kinds of stuff to give them huge traumas, because they know that the brain will put everything on the back burner, so to speak. And they do this over and over and over and over again. These people are easy to spot, though, because they seem to be real bright-eyed. You know what I'm talking about? You see people that seem to be real bright-eyed. They seem to have their eyes wide open all the time, and they're looking around and stuff. That's somebody that's been through the MK Ultra brainwashing program, because they're easy to spot. If you take somebody that's got that type of look to them and start quizzing them about their early life, they don't have one. And that's because they've been through the MK Ultra mind-washing program. And those people that you're looking at that are like that are usually, what do you call that, a buried agent, somebody that's just waiting for the signal. And when that signal is given, they go into a pre-programmed operation. And I can tell you that's how it is.
It's the born identity for real. They activate these people, and they come and they do these things, and they don't even know that they've committed these acts.
No, they have no clue what they've done, because, see, their mind was taken away when they were little, and they were programmed for years and years and years, and one day somebody calls them up on the telephone, and they play a song or ring a bell or whatever they do to give them the signal to turn on.
It's tones.
Yeah, at that moment they turn on, and they do the job they were trained to do, and they have no recollection of it or anything. Just like that guy that did that Aurora, Colorado thing. He didn't have a clue that he had done that.
Well, yeah, he claims amnesia.
Yeah, he didn't have amnesia. He was programmed. Trust me, I've seen this programming in operation. Like I said, I lived in Florida a long time. I saw these people when I was down there.
Well, here's
this
a
guy
quote
was
from
programmed.
Here's a quote. The accused mass murderer keeps asking, "Why am I here?" A jail staffer reports. Holmes is also complaining about food in the detention care. Accused mass murderer James Holmes told jailhouse workers that he remained stumped about what landed him in the Colorado lockup. A jail staffer told the Daily News. He claims he doesn't know why he's in jail. The worker said Thursday he asked, "Why am I here?" Holmes, 24, who is charged with the shooting of dozens of people. You know, this is this is what's scary, guys, because this is what happened to me in 2002.
Yeah, I remember that.
In 2002, I ended up going a little bit off my rocker and ended up in Eugene, Oregon, and ended up in jail. And I kept asking the same thing: why am I here? What did I do wrong? I had no idea that I had kind of gone off my rocker. And you know, I think at that point in time, I was dabbling with a lot of shit that I shouldn't have been dabbling with.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and that's what gets them into trouble because they don't understand. You know, there's a lot of drugs out there that are given to small children and adults both, and they cause a total lapse in your memory, and of course, at that point in time, your mind is wide open, and that's one of the things Jesus warns you about, why he tells you to not hang out with drunkards and stuff. Because see, while you're drunk, high on drugs or whatever, that's when demons can enter you because your soul is at rest, and demons can walk right in on you and take over the program with you, and you have no clue that it's happened. And that's why they tell you to not hang out with drunkards, because see, most of them have got demons in them. And if you hang out with them and you get drunk with them, there's a good chance that a demon can jump from them to you, and now you've got one too.
Oh yeah. I agree with that one 100%. Because I'll tell you, when I was in that when I was in that hospital, what?
Because you said, "Oh yeah, I agree with you with that." Sound like you drinking.
Yeah. When I was in that when I was in that hospital, my buddies showed up. They found me like 3 weeks later, and they said when they saw me that I looked like Jack Nicholson from The Shining. They said they didn't even recognize me.
Whoa.
They said I was looking scary. My hair was all messed up. I was just all, I was just talking out my ass. I couldn't understand one thing they were saying. They finally got hold of my brother back home in Minnesota. Literally, I must have been on the phone. My brother said for 45 minutes I was on the telephone with him, and all I was doing was grunting. I wasn't saying any words. And then all of a sudden, my mind started clicking back, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, wait a minute, where the hell am I? You know?
Yeah.
And I think I fell victim of a possible demonic possession at one point.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people, and they don't understand the time lapses and stuff. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of people think, oh, look at these aliens, they're all good guys. Well, I got news for you. No, they're not. There aren't any of them good guys, because if they were, they'd be at home taking care of their own business. And as far as all these people that are dreaming about them coming here to rescue us, yeah, they're coming here because they've got a book, and it's a cookbook, and they're planning on taking some people home with them.
Because they ain't nothing but demons. I've been saying
demons.
that. I've been saying that all the time. And the Bible tells us,
right.
The Bible tells us that many people, will receive this strong delusion from the enemy. Well, this delusion is what they've been seeing all the time. All the people that you hear about, they took me in this spaceship and they did this, and they probed me, with this prod of my anus and all this here. Son, you just been screwed by a demon.
Well, you know, the bad thing about it is a lot of these women are impregnated, and then they're dropped back where they were with a few hours missing, and then a few months later they're picked up again, and they're aware of the fact that they're pregnant, and all of a sudden they have hours missing and they're not pregnant anymore, and they can't figure out what happened. And for anybody to imagine that these guys are not demons, they are pulling their own leg. It's wishful thinking. You know, that's exactly the reason why the Lord told people that you don't let the women run the schools, you don't let them run the churches, you don't let them run anything that they might have an influence on the education of the children, because of the fact that they're too easily influenced on stuff. And they wouldn't make a good old lady if they weren't, because, you know, let's face it, if your old lady doesn't agree with you, you're probably not going to get along with her. And people just don't understand, you know. There was a time when...
There is nothing but old, weak men that do not know how to be a man and how to stand up to his woman.
Well, yeah, but
he lashes out when she starts running off at the mouth. I ain't got to knock you upside your head. I just let you keep on going and talk to you blue in the face, because ain't nothing you saying gonna sway me from what I'm thinking in the first place. The Word of God says, I suffer a woman not to teach, nor usurp authority over a man.
Yep.
Anybody that's following Christ, this means that all them lying, tongue-speaking women that we've got talking about the blood of Jesus, and I plead the blood of Jesus. God ain't never told nobody to plead to him that day in his life. But and all that stuff is because they come up with their own propaganda to show how close they are to God. And, oh, I had laid out prostrate before the Lord. And, oh, Lord, I'm pregnant in the spirit. And, oh, God is trying to birth this ministry through me and whatnot. You're trying to turn God into a woman. That's what you're trying to do.
Oh, no, most of those women claim that God is a woman. They're completely deceived, believe me. And the sad thing about all this is when America threw the Lord out of their house, that's when America started to turn to shit. And I tell people all the time, well, now that you've thrown the Lord out of your life, how's things going for you?
Okay. Now that he's no longer in the schools, you know, now that he's no longer permitted in public and whatnot, and everybody tell you, leave your faith at the temple door. Don't come out into with everybody else. We don't care what you do inside your temple, but don't come out here and bring that out here to us. The devil is a liar. My faith is a 24-hour a day and encompasses everything that I do.
Absolutely.
Hey guys,
you cannot allow anything to be ruled by anything or anybody but the Lord. And I'll tell you what, you know, a lot of people think, oh no, I'm not going to have a boss. Hey, I got news for you. You're either going to have the Lord for a boss, or you're going to have Lucifer for a boss. You're going to have one of the two. And, you know, you don't have to be real smart to make the right decision on that one. But a lot of people, you know, because everybody has free will. And that's that the Lord doesn't want you to come to him by force.
You got to go and break, Donny?
No, well, I was just, I was talking, you guys were talking about the devil, and it's just weird. All of a sudden, I got this thing posted on my Facebook. Have you guys heard about this Ronald Brown guy who wants to eat kids?
Does he work for the CPS?
He's a Ronald Brown puppeteer, planned to rape, kill, and eat children, Florida police say. A Florida puppeteer who entertains children at birthday parties, schools, and churches secretly wanted to rape, kill, and eat them, cops said. Ronald Brown, 57, of Largo, was arrested last week after federal agents found that he allegedly been chatting online with child pornography suspects about extremely graphic discussions regarding kidnapping, sexually abusing, murdering, and eating children, according to the federal complaint obtained by the Tampa Bay Times. The details are gruesome. Brown, whose Puppet Plus website promises grins and giggles for kids, was reportedly caught in an online chat room with people that feds were investigating as part of a child pornography ring in Massachusetts. He allegedly fantasized about strangling, dismembering, and eating his victims. During one chat session, police claim he said he wanted to tie a child up, lock him in a closet, and then eat him for Easter supper. In another, he allegedly stated that he wanted that his mouth watered when he looked at a female top. Oh, I can't even read the rest of this. This is nasty. I mean,
wow.
I mean, what? I mean, this is how sick and perverted. This is the thing. This is the thing. You know,
these are the people that are running our country, Donnie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Yes, of course they are. More. You know, they just had several new pedophile arrests in the Catholic Church. Zagabi sent me a list of 4 different Catholic priests in Sicily that just were arrested. I mean, this is just these are the demons right there.
Yeah, the
pretty much.
churches are filled with demons now in every church in America. I mean, if you think about it, everything that's happened in the last 100 years of this country, the churches have stood down every time instead of coming up and going, oh, no, we're not going to allow that. They stood down and watched it happen.
They can't. They can't say anything. They gagged them. Lyndon Johnson in 1954 came up with the 501c3 tax-exempt status for the church.
Yeah,
and
but the
these
churches
rules
never
said
needed
that
that.
they
Were
cannot,
exempt from it anyway.
Yeah, under the First Amendment.
Exactly.
That was ludicrous. But they paid to incorporate the church and took the sovereignty of Christ and gave it to the government.
Yeah, I know. That's hard to believe, ain't it? You'd be surprised how many church
crazy.
members can't read.
These rules, when you read these rules, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but when you read these rules, they clearly state that you cannot participate in any rallies, protests against the government. If the government is coming up with gambling, if government is for sodomy, you cannot speak out or protest, even if the government says that kids are wards of the state instead of belonging to their parents. And this is part of the rules that they signed.
It's really hard to believe. I mean, look at CPS. It's ran by Dynacor. And Dynacor, of course, is an international child trafficking company. And it's real common for them to find children that were taken by CPS in foreign countries that have been dismembered, eaten, decapitated, laying in the ditches on sides of roads and stuff where they were thrown out after they were done playing with them. And they've always been sexually attacked. And every time when they're tracked back, it goes straight back to CPS, and it's a vicious circle because you got all these people that we're going to save the kids. Well, it ain't none of their business saving the kids. It's the parents and the people of their neighbors and their family to save the kids. CPS, child welfare, child protective services, all of those. That's nothing but a total criminal organization ran by a giant corporation that internationally traffics children. You know, I hear all the time, oh, well, blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girls are the most valuable ones. No, they're wrong. Black-haired, blue-eyed little girls are the most valuable ones. And if you look at CPS's record and the family courts, you'll see that when they have somebody come in with a black-haired, blue-eyed little girl, the courts always grab that little girl because that little girl is worth about $15,000 on the open market. And everybody gets a piece of it. And I can tell you right now, all them whores that work at CPS, they're all going straight to hell because if they don't know about it, they should have made it their business to find out, to make sure that any child that they ever
before they align themselves with them. You're right.
To make sure that that child remains safe from start to finish. And the problem is, they get the sheriff's department to help them go and take the kids because they've got some kind of legal document saying they can take the kids. Well, I got news for them. It ain't possible under the United States Constitution to take anybody's kids anywhere. And they don't have no right to even exist. And all these nosy whores that think it's up to them to save the neighborhood kids, it ain't none of their business. If they want to save the neighborhood kids, let them go down there and give that family their welfare check or something. But it ain't none of their business what that family's doing unless they're a family relative or a friend or something like that. Those are the only people that should be involved in any family. And if that family needs help, or maybe the dad's a little too abusive or something, one of his brothers or his dad or cousins or somebody needs to come over and go, hey, bro, you need to back off or I'm going to kick your ass.
The neighbors, they used to, I'm telling you, God is my witness. In my neighborhood, when I was a kid, this guy used to beat the hell out of his wife. Believe me, the brothers in the neighborhood got together, and they cornered that son of a gun in the gangway and told him, if we ever hear you hitting your wife again, we're going to do the exact same thing to you or worse.
Yeah.
They didn't have no more problems out of here.
Listen, I'm Irish, and I can tell you, in an Irish family, you better not be beating your wife or really abusing your kids, because if you are, I can guarantee you that somebody in the clan is going to give you the beating of your ass. You're not going to believe the beating they're going to give you for it. You're either going to shape up, or they'll beat you every time they see you until you do shape up, because you ain't going to have no choice. It's just like my dad used to say, one of these days I'm going to have to send you back to God and then try and explain to him how you got sent back to him.
I'm gonna break in. I'm gonna break in here on something, guys. Here, I just got information that Zeta Talk is now saying that Obama is going to disclose that Nibiru is on its way.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, me fucking neither. Zeta Talk will lick my butt. You know. But...
Well, I'll tell you what. If they announce it, it'll be... You remember that movie where the people, the president never announced the asteroid coming until like 2 hours before it was supposed to hit?
Yep.
Well, I guarantee you that if he makes an announcement, it'll be within 24 hours of this thing's arrival. And you will see all hell break loose.
Listen to what it says here. The Zeta Talk newsletter comes out every Sunday and I love this, and has been almost 100% accurate in their predictions. So if you're keeping up with Planet X News, you may want to hear this reading of the newsletter and commentary by someone who's been studying Planet X for about a decade. Let's see, does it go on? It just talks about...
There's a few people out there that have had their eye on Nibiru for a while.
Well,
I can tell you that for a fact.
Talk, you know, Zeta Talk is that Nancy Later?
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah. You know, if anybody mentions Donny Gilson on Zeta Talk, they're absolutely banned.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they actually wrote a complete article about me saying that I was a disinformation shill.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what that is? That's those 200,000 people Obama hired to discredit people on the internet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know I love it.
And they come around. They sure do. Drake.
Yeah, we call them shills and trolls and stuff like that, but they're basically just total morons that wanted a job. And the sad thing is, I feel sorry for them because what they don't realize is they're going to contribute to the death of their own family, and that's what's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah. Not only the death of their own family, but the death of their soul as well.
Well, you know, the thing is, see, now I'm a watchman, and I can tell you right now, if you're putting out bad information like that, and you cause the death of anybody, you better know that the Lord is going to put all that blood on your head. And that means that your judgment is going to be a lot worse than somebody else's.
That's you know, and I know that's for a fact. So You know, I try my best, you know, to give out as much accurate information as I can. You know, I show what I show, and I tell you, but every single one of these people that talk about Nibiru, the only ones that ever talk about Nibiru and Jesus Christ are us. I mean, really. I mean, I never hear Christ mentioned anywhere else.
Well, I'll tell you what, all you got to do is read the opening of the sixth seal. If you can't put that together, you're not very sharp. I mean, you're a couple of bubbles off plum and missing 2 or 3 forks out of the silverware drawer. Because I think that one's pretty self-evident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's it's pretty.
You know,
pretty...
you read the opening of the sixth seal, everything that happens, and I've actually seen this thing, so I can tell you that meteor shower that the Lord's talking about, it's going to be a lot worse than He says it is.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I'm telling you. It's going to be beyond belief. Hey, you know what they're doing now? You think the government doesn't believe all of this? Let me tell you how much they do believe it. They know it's coming. You know what they did here a couple of months ago? Obama had some branch in the government, I don't know who it is, they hired some construction company. They've been going around the United States and digging the entrance to all the mines that they buried to hide them from the people. They've been digging the entrance back open on the mines and then driving great big steel plates down in front of the entrance to the mines and then reburying them. Now you tell me what's up with that. They already buried them. Now they're digging them back open to the entrance, driving big steel plates all the way down across the entrance and then reburying them. Now you think they're expecting something? I can tell you right now, they're making sure you can't get into that mine unless you got a cutting torch.
But ain't gonna be nowhere to run.
Well,
ain't gonna be nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run.
Ain't gonna be nowhere to run.
Nowhere to hide.
Look, I've been telling Donnie for a couple of months now. Donnie, they got the Bible, using it as a playbook.
You ain't wrong. That's exactly what they're doing. They're using the Bible as their playbook. Because they know that's the reason why they don't want the cops or the military reading the Bible. Because they start reading Revelations and their eyes will be as big as saucers by the time they get to the sixth seal. And they'll understand everything they're reading because they're seeing it.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I mean, all these military people and all these cops, I had a deputy sheriff tell me that they weren't allowed to look at any of that sort of thing. And I said, gee, you're a law enforcement officer and you're allowing them to violate your First Amendment constitutional rights? Has it ever occurred to you that you're working for a terrorist?
That's what it sounds like, isn't it? they you know, how are you going to be? How are you going to be a law keeper and a defender of the law and the Constitution, and they tell you something that's totally against your constitutional rights?
Yeah.
And then what makes you go along with it?
These people are so dumbed down that they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. And you know what? You see all this police brutality and stuff. Let me tell you what my cousin, he's a colonel in the Army National Guard. He told me, he said, watch what's going to happen. Now, this is years ago. He said, here's the playbook on what's going to happen. We're going to make the American people so mad at the police. They're going to hate them. They're going to hate the military. They're going to hate the police. And we're going to push them right into a corner until they're ready to attack the police. And then we're just going to stand back and watch. He goes, the American people will slaughter those stupid bastards. He goes, because they're playing right into our hand. He goes, because we want to control the country, and we're going to watch the American people take them down. And after the American people are done taking them down, he said they'll hunt down every single one of them in the whole nation and kill them all. He said there won't be one left alive. And he goes, and after they kill the last of them, then we're going to step in and take over. That's what he told me 10 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. They're being set up, and there isn't any of them smart enough to realize that the military is setting them up for a takedown. You know, they're giving them all these weapons and telling them, oh, yeah, we're going to back you up. And the whole plan is they're not going to back them up at all. They're going to wait until they're completely taken down, and then they're going to step in.
They're definitely bagging the citizens into a corner. They're definitely doing that. And,
you know everything my cousin said is coming true today. You look at the police in Oakland and in Anaheim. You know, I mean, unleashing their dogs on unarmed women and children, and knowing what a dog will do to a fucking 4-year-old. Knowing what a police dog will do to a 4-year-old, and they turn them loose in the crowd.
Exactly right. Yep, sure
and see, and everybody in the country hears about it and goes, oh my God, they turned their police dogs loose and it tore the face off a 4-year-old? Oh no. And by the time they're done, they'll be the most hated people in the United States. And then when the shooting finally starts, and I guarantee you it will because the Bible says it will, and all the prophecies for the last 1,000 years say it will, and when it happens, all these cops are going to be going, well, my God, I wasn't in on that. And they'll be gunned down like mad dogs, and they will have been completely set up, and not even the captains and sergeants and stuff will realize what's happening because they're so busy being upon themselves, they have not even realized that they're being set up.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to end up the show here. I'm just going to call it quits for the day. My brain is just,
You've been through a lot, Donny, and just take it easy, bro, and know that I'm holding you up in prayer. Never forget that. Matter of fact, guys, all of you that's listening, all of you in the chat room, all of you on the archive. I guarantee you I'm holding every single one of you guys up in prayer because we have to get together and we have to seek the Lord, and believe me, somebody's praying for you. Trust me, somebody's praying for you. All right, guys, I'll see you, the Lord's will. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Sound Doctrine Christian Ministries will be on for 3 hours tomorrow, Donnie.
Wow. Well, on Freedomizer Radio?
On Freedomizer Radio, noon Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
That's real good. I want to talk to you some more. I've got a few things I need to tell you.
Well, call in tomorrow. I'll be on for 3 hours.
Okay, I'll do that.
All righty.
I'll call you up tomorrow. I got a few things you really need to hear.
Let's do that. That sounds like a plan.
You're in Chicago, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
That's why I need to talk to you. The Lord's told me quite a bit about Chicago. It ain't good, but you need to hear it.
Maybe I need to call you back in a few minutes. Donnie, I'll
really
talk
wish
to you
you
later,
would
my
if you
brother.
got my phone number.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it.
Well, call me back in a few minutes then.
I'll do that. All right, guys.
Okay.
God bless
All right,
you.
guys. God bless.
Donnie, have a good night, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Arizona. Thanks, Minister Kenneth Emmanuel of Sound Doctrine Ministries. Guys, I'm going to call it quits. My mind is just off topic. You know, I'm thinking about all the stuff that we've talked about tonight. And, you know, I just need to kind of get right with my Lord, you know, and just, and pray, you know, and I want to pray for all of you guys out there tonight too. And I don't know. I'm just, I don't know what to say. I don't know what these next 17 days are going to bring. I have no idea. I have really no idea. But just remember, we'll have Alfred on the show on Wednesday. Maybe Alfred will be able to shine a little bit more light on this. give it a little bit more positive spin. But until then, you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to sign out. And I'm going to leave you with, something funny as we leave. Good night, all.
Oh, God, my tooth fell out.
Super News presents the Master Debaters. Tonight, marijuana and crystal meth will master debate about drugs. 3, 2, 1, Master Debate!
I guess I'll start by saying that I think there are good drugs and bad drugs, and it's time we started differentiating between the two.
Exactly. We're good drugs, man. So let's stop the insanity, and finally legalize crystal meth.
That's a horrible idea.
Well, no, but for medical reasons, of course.
Medical meth?
Yeah, man. If the doctors say it helps cure gout, then why not let Grandma yak out on some tweak,
Okay, no doctor has ever said that.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that right now? Oh my God. What is that? What is that? Oh God, wait, that's my heart. That's my heart. Wow, that's loud.
You're made out of battery acid and drain cleaner.
Hey man, can I trust you? Because I think the government's against me.
They should be.
The CIA has an army of spies watching me 24/7, and that's why I hide in the bushes in front of my house every night with a steak knife.
Folks, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Meth makes you paranoid and crazy, unlike pot, which is totally safe.
Safe? That stuff takes away your motivation. I mean, do you even have a job? Like me, breaking down boxes at the Safeway 17, 18 hours a day? No, you don't.
Okay, hold on a second. I need water. Quick water.
Come on, bro. Look, don't you want to have sex with strangers in truck stop bathrooms for money? How great does that sound?
Oh, God, my tooth fell out.
Don't you want to go to a Fish concert? No! Nobody wants to go to a Fish concert!
No one wants to suck trucker dicks for money.
And I thought you were cool. You were the gateway drug!
Hey, come on. I'm still illegal on a federal level. See, okay, the states made me legal, but the federal government and the EPA were like, wait, no, the DEA was...
The CIA
okay,
is behind everything!
Federal...
Them and the Masons! And it's all connected,
I'll be honest,
bro!
I don't know
and they're always watching us, so there ain't nothing we can do! Because they know everything! You get what I'm saying?
Wait, what were we talking about?
I need to borrow...
The Rhodesian nationalist leader, Bishop Abel Muzorewa, has accepted Mr. Smith's offer to negotiate an internal settlement based on one man, one vote. But, he says, there are conditions. These include stopping the execution of all captured prisoners of war, allowing Nibiru to take part in negotiations, being arrested. In Australia, Mr. Terry Parker's cricketers are still pleading to yesterday's High Court decision, which lifted the ban on them playing test matches in their country.
This is the voice of Allah, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Council, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the darkness. We speak to you now in celestial as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and your world so that you may communicate to your fellow beings across your state to avoid the disaster which threatens your world and the beings on other worlds around you. This is in order that you may share in great awakening as the planet passes into the new age of Aquarius. The new age can be a time of great peace and evolution for your race, but only because the rulers are made aware of the forces that can overshadow their judgments. Be still now. And for your chance may not come again. All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are a part may proceed to the higher stages of its evolution, if you show yourselves worthy to do this. You have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill. Small groups all over the planet are learning this, and exist to pass on the light of the dawning new age to you all. You are free to accept the
Many go as wide as this. Then they run out.
Here now, the voice of Brillon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. Be aware also that there are many false prophets and guides operating on your world. They will suck your energy from you, the energy you call money, and will put it to evil ends, giving you worthless costs in return. Your divine self will protect you from this. You must learn to be sensitive to the voice within that can tell you what is truth and what is learn to listen to the voice of truth. Lead your soul. This is our message.
I really appreciate that we can't today. I insist. So delicious, full of only really choice ingredients. I can.
Cats have 9 lives.
Have no fears. Seek only to know yourself as this power is the weight of your sanity. When you are the Ashtar Galactic Command, I seek your attention. We are now leaving the place of your existence. May you be blessed by the supreme love and the wonders.
Use your imagination. Suppose you.
Garden.
May I? Please do. Why, thank you. Tomatoes. Ah, scrumptious, simply.
We understand that viewers in some parts of the region are receiving a breakthrough in sound. We're sorry about this, and we're doing our best to rectify the fault. Finally, back home, engineers are trying to trace the source of what they call a rogue transmission, which lasted about 6 minutes during ITN's early evening news bulletin. It affected viewers in the Berkshire and Hampshire area served by the Hannington transmitter. They heard a voice which cut across what I was reading. The voice said, "Earthlings, lay down your arms. This is a message from outer space." Well, thousands of viewers later phoned Salon Television, the police, and ITN here. A spokesman for the Independent Broadcasting Authority said this is the first incident of its kind in Britain. Winchester police said some people were frightened by the hoax message. They said they sent an officer to calm down one woman. Well, I hope nothing's interrupted this bulletin wherever you are this evening. From all of us here, good night.
Independent Radio News at 12, David Geary. The Independent Broadcasting Authority is at a loss to explain the mysterious message that broke into a Southern television news broadcast. The slow, deep voice proclaimed, in part, all your weapons of evil must be destroyed. You only have a short time to learn to live in peace. The station was immediately besieged by worried telephone callers demanding an explanation, but as the information officer for the Broadcasting Authority, John Guinery, says, there could be several different causes of the message.
Well, we don't know for sure that it was a pirate call. We know that there were some voices over saying certain things of which we haven't got an exact record. We've had a lot of accounts, obviously. A lot of people have been phoning us and other people about it. We simply don't know what it was. Broadcasts, of course, are monitored at an operations centre, but there was simply a mumble, and there was some picture distortion. We had a lot of reports in, but as I say, we simply don't know what it was.
Independent Radio News, it's 3 minutes past 12.